There are so many ISPOs going on at the moment in the Cardano ecosystem, those initial stake pool offerings, and people have been asking me, where can I delegate to next? Where can I find information about these really cool projects that are starting to offer these tokens for delegating to various stake pools? I'll be going through a whole bunch of them in this video coming right up.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
Love it or hate it, ISPOs are here to stay. They're a unique feature of the Cardano ecosystem where you can delegate your ADA to a particular stake pool that is operating on the network and earn some other tokens. Some of these ISPOs will take your ADA rewards and in exchange give you tokens, or some of them also act as distribution mechanisms, and for your delegation to those pools, you get a particular token as well. So there's many ways that this can work, and I happen to absolutely love them. I'm Peter Buey. If this is your first time here, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click the notification bell. Everything I produce, the podcast, the YouTube channel is all around Cardano. So if you like Cardano, please consider hitting that subscribe button. You won't be disappointed. So first off, let's go through some of the ISPOs that have ended, or just ended, I should say. MetaDEX is one that just ended, and if you're still delegating to this ISPO, you should consider moving your ADA across. These pools are actually retiring, so you won't be earning any of the MAL tokens, and you won't be earning any ADA either. So please check your wallets and move your ADA off them. The other one that's ended at the moment is ADA Finance. This one here is over, so you need to move your ADA from their pool as well. Their pool ticker was ISPO, so check if you're delegated to it, please move your ADA off these particular pools. Now, I've gone through a whole bunch of different ISPOs that are active at the moment, and some I haven't covered before either. The first one we'll look at is OccamX, and this one, they're building out a decentralized exchange with a cross bridge between Ethereum, EVM chains, and Cardano itself, and they've been going on for quite a while actually. So their ISPO started way back, but I hadn't really looked into it, and it's mainly because of that Ethereum side of things. So I hadn't really played around with Ethereum DeFi space much at all. So when I see a Connect wallet with MetaMask, it kind of puts me off because I'm not really touching anything on the Ethereum space at the moment. But Occam is an interesting one. The team is quite experienced and skilled in regards to the whole DeFi space in general. So I'll be digging into their DEX and their ecosystem a little bit more to find out exactly what they're up to and provide you guys with more information as soon as I know as well. Empowa is a project that I've been delegating to since almost day one, and I even got one of their booster NFTs. What they're trying to do is something that's coined RealFi, and they're trying to create affordable housing for people on the African continent. And they're doing this with decentralized finance. So they're collecting the funding and making that available to developers to build homes and let users have affordable mortgages so that they can actually rent to own these homes in a particular way that makes it really desirable for all parties. So if you want to find out more, check out the interview that I did with the team, links down below in the show notes. So MetaDEX is a decentralized exchange building on Cardano that are doing some pretty cool and unique things. One of them is portfolio pools, where instead of having two pairs of tokens for a liquidity pool, you can just provide one, and that is used to trade and provide liquidity on a DEX. And I really like some of these features and what they're trying to achieve as well. They went through a big rebranding, and you can find the interviews I did with Rob all about the DEX and how they're pivoting and changing a couple of things, and you find the links up there or down below in the show notes. Now, their ISPO is ongoing until they actually launch the DEX. So they don't have a finalized launch date yet. So they're still working on everything in the background. So if you see on the website here that there's an end date, they haven't set one yet. So when you load up this site, it will say end date at epoch 330, which is only in another 3 epochs. That isn't correct. They're still ongoing, and we don't know exactly when they'll launch. But have a look at the project and find out if you want to support it. You can delegate to their stake pool. This one, you still earn ADA rewards as well as the MetaDEX token as well for supporting the project. FlickTo is a media launch platform. I think that's the best way to describe it, where they provide funding for innovative and independent media creatives. So if you are sick and tired of Hollywood calling the shots and saying, we'll produce this movie because it's safe and we know it makes money. If you hate those cookie cutter media movies that are coming out all the time, this is the project to support, because they are supporting those independent artists and creators that are doing really niche and interesting and innovative and creative and edgy type of movies out there. So I'm really excited about this one, and I'd love to actually see this one come into place and actually working. I actually did a update interview with the team as well, and they have so many updates. It's absolutely incredible. If you want to find out more, please subscribe to the channel and you'll find out exactly what they've been up to. They've done a lot of work, and I'm pretty excited about it. So it's really cool. I like the community engagement of this project. FlickTo is definitely something that I'm really supportive for, not just because of the project, but because of what they could possibly produce in terms of media and movies. I'm looking forward to this one. Check it out at FlickTo.io. Their ISPO, I think, is going on for quite a while, and you can find all the information on the website itself. AnetaBTC is a really cool project that I'm looking at as well. I did a really big breakdown overview of this particular project. You can find it in the show notes down below, but they're essentially bringing wrapped assets to the Cardano blockchain, and in particular Bitcoin. So you can provide Bitcoin to their platform. They'll create a wrapped version of it via smart contracts and then put it into your Cardano native wallet, and you can use that to unlock value within the Cardano ecosystem. So you can trade it for other tokens, etc., or participate in DeFi, liquidity pools, whatever it might be. So if you're holding on to Bitcoin and you don't know what to do with it, this will allow for a bridge to come over to the Cardano ecosystem and do some really cool things. And they're using the ISPO rewards at the moment to actually buy in on liquidity pools and provide that for the ecosystem as well. So they're doing some really cool things there, and I'm looking forward to this one. I have an interview with the team coming up as well. They're doing a lot of things, everything from NFTs, putting new utility in, and all sorts of things. So I've got a lot of questions for them. Looking forward to this one. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more about the particular project. Genius Yield is a project I'm really bullish on. If you check out my latest video, I go through a breakdown and update of their ISPO, so you can check that out in the show notes down below. But I'm an ambassador for it as well. So if you get to that point where you want to be an ambassador for a project, obviously you're very interested in it. But they're building out a decentralized exchange with a auto harvesting and AI functionality behind it. And I'm absolutely excited about this one here. It's going to make DeFi quite easy for a lot of people. There's a lot of manual processes to really optimize and get the most out of your staking and your liquidity provisions for all these DEXs. And if they manage to pull this off, which I know they will, you'll be able to have a much easier and smoother experience across the whole ecosystem. So this is a really cool one that I'm looking forward to. Adana is a project that I'm really excited about as well. They are the stablecoin platform for the Cardano ecosystem. So if you're looking for a USDT version, they'll be producing it, or a British pound one, or a Japanese yen, whatever it might be. So whatever fiat currencies they come up with and have regulatory experience with that they can provide on and off ramps for, they'll be creating within their platform. Now, this will allow big institutions to transfer money from one point to another, from USD to British pounds, for example, through the exchange, and act as a forex exchange, so a foreign exchange, and do that within seconds. So they'll be able to provide that money transfer mechanism through their platform. And you can imagine banks doing deals like this, and they're constantly trading back and forth and using the legacy systems as it is. It could take days to actually transfer that money. whereas Adana can provide that in minutes. So that's a big game changer where billions of dollars that takes 3 or 4 days to transfer can cost a bank a huge amount of money, cost businesses a huge amount of money. Whereas if you can transfer it within a few moments, you can do something with that cash as soon as it lands. So that's the big game changer here with Adana, and I'm really excited about this one. We're actually a part of the Adana Stake Pool Alliance as well. So if you delegate to our stake pool or any of the stake pools in the Alliance, you'll be able to earn the Dana tokens. And this is starting on the 1st of April. They're doing a rolling start. I'll put a link to their Medium blog that they did about this. Not much detail has been put out about this one, so we don't know how many tokens we're going to get yet or anything like that, or when exactly it will end. I think it will go for a 6-month period, but we don't have those key dates yet. So we're going to find out exactly what's going on with this over the next few weeks. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for this one here. I'm looking forward to it. I absolutely love this project as well. It's another key aspect of the Cardano ecosystem that's needed. Now, Ray Network is one that it's going to hold the title of the longest ISPO, I think, in the Cardano ecosystem. They started back in, I think, 317. I can't, okay, even longer. They started back in Epoch, maybe 235, but it looks like people started delegating around here at Epoch 236, so somewhere around there. But they're going all the way to Epoch 500, so no holds barred. They're going to keep going all the way down to here, and that's pretty cool. But you can see as you delegate over time, the amount of rewards diminish over time. So you can delegate here and get these Ray tokens, and they are part of their ecosystem. So it's their governance tokens, but will also power everything around their NFT marketplace, their decentralized exchange, everything else. So they're building almost everything in the Cardano ecosystem. So I'm pretty excited about what they can pull off and what they'll produce for the Cardano ecosystem. Now, they're one of the stake pools that are taking 0 fees. So you get all of your ADA rewards and you get their X-Ray tokens. So that's pretty cool. So they're just taking the minimum fee that the stake pools get at the moment. So that 340 ADA, I think they have about 4 stake pools. And from that, they're using those funds to fund their development. So that's a really nice and cool approach. And you can see the longevity of this. They're going to be around for many more years to come. Supporting this project means that they can go out and build everything they need to build or everything they want to build for the Cardano community. IAMX is a really interesting project where they're trying to essentially be the single sign-in process for the Cardano blockchain. So you can own your identity on the blockchain and control what websites can access that information. So with a token, you can fill in forms, provide data around your address or whatever it is. So if you're on an e-commerce website, for example, and you got to fill in all that stuff, whatever it might be, you could use their system and set up so that it will fill in all those details for you. So it's a really cool and interesting process. They also were behind the Teddy Troops CNFT project, and a lot of people have been asking me to check this one out, and I didn't realize that they were behind some of the metadata behind it. So that is pretty cool. Maybe I should check out the Teddy Troops project and find out exactly what's going on. But you can find out more about this ISPO that's happening at the moment, delegate to their stake pools and earn some of their tokens as well. And I'll put links down below for you. I'll be diving into this one a little bit more so I can find out exactly what's going on, how it all works, and how the project token, etc., is all part of the ecosystem. Now, another ISPO, this ISPO here, Waya Collective, this one's pretty new. This one only started on the 15th, and what they're trying to do is build out the manufacturing within Africa, and they're not holding back on this one. They're actually going ahead and trying to build factories to build up the manufacturing processes within Africa around the textile industry, fashion in particular. So I did an interview with Antonia way back where she was trying to formulate and join together all these smaller producers to fulfill orders around the world. Now, in researching and trying to deploy this, her team realized that this was a mammoth task and may not even be possible for the scale that they're trying to achieve. So they instead have set up a local fashion line within Africa and are looking at building factories out all over the place within the continent. Now, this is a very big task, and the ISPO is there to actually help with the process. I did an interview with Antonio as well, and that's coming out really, really soon. So if you want to find out more about the project, please subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel, and you'll find out more about the Waya Collective ISPO. Now, the last project that I just came across is Cardano Mixer. I have mentioned this in a previous podcast episode, but I didn't really look into it any more than that. I didn't realize they were doing an ISPO. But this is how you can have private transactions on the Cardano blockchain. So when you're transferring ADA from one wallet to another, it's pretty easy to follow and trace. But having it in a mixer pool where you provide your ADA into a a pool of liquidity, and then anyone that has access to that key can pull it out. So you can transfer it to someone else, you can do it yourself, you can use another wallet, whatever it might be, and you'll be able to pull out that amount that was locked in there. Now they do it in a really interesting way. I think it's called, there it is, proof of knowledge of a key. So it's not the actual key itself, it's a proof that you know of the key. I don't understand the mechanics of this. This is probably way above my pay grade, but I'm going to be digging into this one here and learning a little bit more about it. And I am going to be delegating to this one as well. Now, many of you have asked, what projects are you delegating to, Pete? And I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to just open up my wallet and show you exactly what I'm delegating to and how I'm doing it. So here is my ledger. So my ledger device is the hardware wallet, and this is where I do all of my staking. And you can see here I'm using CC Vault, and I have a lot of different active accounts. So having all these sub accounts under your main wallet allows you to actually delegate to multiple different projects at the same time. Now, if you're using something like a Yoroi or Daedalus, those two wallets don't have this feature. Only some of the newer wallets such as CC Vault, Nami Wallet, or NuFi, and Typhoon Wallet, I should say, and Flint Wallet, and maybe Jero, but all the newer wallets have this type of setup where you can choose to create a new account. So down here on CC Vault, you can see here, I can click on Add Account, and I can choose which wallet position I want, how many accounts I actually want created, add the account, and they'll create these little sub accounts here that I can actually delegate and delegate to a new pool and to earn some of the tokens. So here, let's go through what I'm actually delegating to at the moment. So here, Gens 1, so that's Genius Yield. I'm delegating to Aneta and ADA, which I will change over in a moment. And this one here, Ray Network, MetaDEX, ADAOZ, which is our own pool. It feels weird not to delegate to yourself if you own the pool. Waya Collective, Flick, and then OccamX as well, so the ArkhamX decentralized exchange. But what I'll show you now is, because this particular pool here, the ISPO pool for ADA Finance, is over, I'll show you how to actually delegate or redelegate your wallet to a brand new pool. So here in CC Vault, when you open up your wallet, you'll get this summary screen on this particular page here, and you can see what you're delegating to and how much you're earning, etc. So if I click on Account List, this will show me all the sub accounts that I have currently on the wallet. So if you don't have any of these sub accounts created, you can go ahead and create your sub accounts here just by clicking on Accounts. It will ask you to put in your sending password to sign the transaction, because each time you create one of these, you will need to register the keys on the network. So once you have that, you can actually click on Activate Account, choose which account you want to interact with, and from here I can go Summary, have a look at it. Yep, cool, that looks all good there, and click on Staking. So the clicking on Staking here in CC Vault will allow me to choose a brand new pool. So here I'll type in CMix, which is for that Cardano Mixer stake pool, And looking down here, their saturation level is only 7.58, so not that high. It's actually quite low. That's where our state pool used to be, so that was actually a comfortable number. So here I can click on delegate now. And because I'm using my hardware wallet, I'll have to sign this transaction using the hardware device. And if you've never seen one of these before, this is what it looks like. This is the Ledger Nano itself. It's too close. There we go. So that's the Ledger Nano. It's got a little LCD screen here, and I've got the USB version, so I have to plug it in and sign my transactions. It has two little buttons at the top to control what happens on the device, and one of them can confirm, one can go to the next screen, etc., etc. So it's a really cool way to, not just cool, but it's the most secure way possible to store your crypto assets, because no one can actually get your seed phrase. They need the hardware device itself. So if you're the type of person that stores their seed phrase on their computer, your computer can get hacked. And if it can get hacked, then people can get your seed phrase. And if they get your seed phrase, they have your keys to all your crypto assets. So it's worth getting one of these. Anyway, I'll go through and I'll sign this transaction using my hardware device. So just got to log in here. So the way it works is, it's hard to see, but on the Ledger Nano, the LCD screen there, it will have a PIN. You need to enter in that PIN to get into the device, and then you can actually sign the transaction from there. So it's multi-levels of security. One, you need the actual device, so you have to pry it from my dead hands, and then you need the PIN to actually turn it on as well. So it's a fairly secure process of using one of these devices. There we go. So the device is now activated, so I can actually click on sign here on my wallet, and that prompts me to now start the transaction on my Ledger Nano. Now just follow the prompts on the Ledger Nano, just confirm that it is exactly what I want to do. So delegating to a particular pool with the particular keys, confirm the delegation, confirm the transaction, and away it goes. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So now that would delegate this particular wallet to the new pool. You don't need to deregister your wallet or delegate, anything like that. You just need to pick the new pool that you want to delegate to, and away you go. I don't see the point of deregistering unless you're exiting the entire Cardano ecosystem and moving to an exchange, for example. So that's pretty much the only way that only reason why I think you would need to deregister, or if you're moving to a whole new wallet and you're trying to close down a wallet. There's other complicated things you need to think about there, but for another episode. So hopefully that has given you a really good idea of your other opportunities or other ISPOs that you could possibly delegate to earn some of these tokens. I'll put a link to all of them down below in the show notes so that you can find out a little bit more about these projects and look into what opportunities that you could possibly get in on. And I showed you all of the projects that I'm delegating to as well. So if you're interested, hit me up and I can give you much more information about those particular projects too. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content, if you want to learn more about Cardano, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe and click on the notification bell, and you'll hear more from me real soon. But I'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.